Alright, so what is up, guys? I decided to do a video real quick because I haven't done a video in a minute, and I've decided, hey, what better video to do than the one that I'm thinking about in my head that I just haven't done yet. So if you hear any music outside, it's my neighbors. They're being loud and annoying and whatever. But if you click this video, you're probably going to be angry at me. And before you do anything, and before you start commenting and talking a bunch of nonsense, probably going to name the video BTS Arent Kings or some nonsense or whatever. And basically what I mean by that is that, yes, I love BTS. I'm a hard BTS stan. I don't think, oh, you can't see him, but I have my tour things, like I have everything. I am in love with BTS. Obviously, I'm wearing the hat, like, come on. Like, this is not new information. I love BTS. But recently, I feel like a lot of people believe that they are kings and that, like, they invented K-pop or something. And obviously, that's not to discredit them. I am very proud of them. They grew up so much, and they've done so many amazing things. And they're nominated for the BBMAs, or whatever. BBMAs, yes. But it doesn't mean that they're the only K-pop group to exist. Like, hello, New Army. I love meeting you guys. I love talking to new armies, like, especially if they just came, or, like, things like that. I love New Army. Do not get me wrong. But when people claim, or I think believe, that BTS is some, I guess, group, like, some, honestly, I'm gonna be real, some people, I feel like, thoroughly believe that BTS, like, created K-pop. And this is not new information. BTS, yes, have trailblazed. They had the American tour, they're in the Philippines, they're going everywhere. But they are not the only K-pop group to do this. And while I love them and I support them, they are, yes, taking over because they're popular right now. They're really gaining attention very fast and very quick, I want to say. Like, obviously I said very fast, but they're doing it at a speed that's unreal. Like, they're throwing everyone off. And people who wouldn't generally listen to them are listening to them now. And it fills me with such pride to know that my boys, these boys that stayed up late at night asking themselves when they were going to make it, if they were going to make it, are now, like, realizing that they did make it and that this is only the beginning. Like, they're nominated for a BBMA, like, or Billboard Award, basically. And I think they're the first K-pop group to be nominated for an award. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but I think they're gonna be the first ones to win it. Let's be real here. ARMY is going crazy. The votes for BTS right now is, like, unreal. Last time I checked, it was like 20 million or something. And that's just social media, like, hits. Obviously, we have to stream the music videos and everything because it's a social award, so we have to keep going. But ARMY's doing so well right now. It's unreal. But I don't want people to think that BTS is the only group that exists. BTS, yes, are the biggest group right now, I'd have to say. Maybe not the biggest, but they're one of the biggest groups currently. But we can't disregard or look down on the other groups that have been the biggest groups in the past. SHINee is big, or SHINee was big, or SHINee is big, whichever, I'm not sure, I don't keep up with SHINee. 21 when they were around, Super Junior, Big Bang, Wonder Girls, Girls' Generation, or, like, whatever the hell it is, I don't know anymore. But they were before BTS, and I remember because I was listening to K-pop back in 2009, and when I was listening to it, it was kind of one of those things that you kind of felt ashamed listening to, because it was at a time where no one knew what K-pop was. You try to explain them, and they're like, what the hell is K-pop? You don't understand it. And it wasn't really like English subtitles were, like, happening. Like, they existed, obviously, like, duh, but they weren't, like, on every video, on everything, and, like, all the lyrics were translated perfectly. Obviously, lyrics can't be translated perfectly because there's still that language barrier, and there's some things that you say, like, in certain phrases or whatever. But K-pop used to be a thing that, like, nobody really spoke about. Or if you did speak about it, you were kind of looked at weirdly. But now that it's growing and BTS is, like, essentially, I don't want to say taking over, but they're taking over, it's more talked about. It's more discussed, I'd have to say. I'm meeting friends that I didn't think liked K-pop and they like K-pop, and I'm just like, cool, you're what? Like obviously I felt ashamed listening to K-pop back in like 2009, 2010 because I was like early middle school. I was a kid. I didn't know, like, who was I listening to at that time? Shiny? Like, that, 2NE1, I think, that was like it. Like, Lonely, or what is it, the other one that was like really popular, or I'm the Best and things like that. Like, I was listening to those when they came out. And to see now that 2NE1 disbanded and all of this other stuff, it's crazy. But I don't want people to think that this video is me talking bad about BTS. Obviously, I'm so in love with BTS. I'm so proud of them and everything that they've done. But I feel like people forget that they aren't the only group to exist. And while I love and I care about all the fans and everything and the people who support BTS, obviously, I want people to also realize that just because they're really popular right now, and you might want to stan them or whatever, it doesn't mean that you just have to stan them. Like, there are other groups out there that deserve love too. Monsta X, Top Dog, SF9, Boys 24, Unit Black or whatever. Like, I'm just thinking of groups off the top of my head. 17, like, things like that. Like, they deserve love too. And it's not a battle, or it's not a question of, oh, which is bigger, BTS or EXO? No, they're both huge, like, and I don't want people to think that only BTS is trailblazing this path for the K-pop world, or for people to be introduced to the K-pop world. EXO is doing it too. EXO just had a tour here. BAP, whatever you want to call them, they were here too. People are becoming more open to the idea of it. And I don't want people to think that, oh, it's just BTS. BTS is doing it. BTS. No, it's EXO too. It's other big groups. And I don't want people to forget the other groups. And obviously, you guys know I love BTS, but I also love these other groups. I love EXO. I'm not a huge hard stand for EXO, or I'm not a huge, like, that's not my alt bias or anything, or I'm not whatever. It's just, I feel like people forget that sometimes. And I guess this is kind of a rant video, if you want to call it that. But when I say BTS aren't kings, I mean, obviously they're kings. They're legends, whatever. Well, they're not really legends. But they aren't the only ones around. That's the only thing I mean. And obviously, like, people are going to get mad at me because they're going to misthink this video or whatever. But honestly, I'm happy for them. I'm proud of them. Yoongi, Jin, Jimin, Hobi, Taehyung, Namjoon, Jungkook. I'm proud of all of them. Because they literally, like, Jungkook grew up with BTS. Jungkook, I'm older than Jungkook. And for him to achieve so much, and just, it must have been so hard for him, honestly. And I don't mean just Jungkook, I mean all of them. But Jungkook had to go through puberty with them and things like that. Like, it must have been difficult for him. And it was difficult for all the guys. And I'm so proud of this attention, or this, I don't want to say publicity, because it's not really publicity, but I'm proud of all this good reception they're getting. They're doing collabs, they're selling out their tour. Like, that's not cheap. I think I read somewhere that they made like almost like $1 billion or something from just Chile alone. So imagine America, where they had what? They had 2 Newark dates, they had 2 Los Angeles dates, and a Chicago date. That's 5 dates. I think they only played like Chile like once or twice. So they're doing it, and I'm proud of them. And I don't want people to discredit, or I don't want to discredit their accomplishments, obviously. But guys, I want you to remember that BTS isn't the only group out there. There are other groups: 17, Monsta X, BAP, B2B, like whatever groups. There are other groups, and I want you guys to stand them because they're amazing. And that's basically all I had to say for this video, because I had to get it off my chest, honestly. I'll probably do another video soon, I hope, because I've been slacking. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like, comment, share, and subscribe, all that goodness. I mean, who knows, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Leave comments below if you agree or disagree or whatever. I'll probably read them and reply, obviously. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day. If you have a dream, I believe in you 110% that you can do it. And yeah, have a beautiful day, morning, night, evening, whatever the hell. And I will see you in the next video. So bye for now, guys, honestly.